Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are going to rank Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary's level designs. Now, just to clarify this, we are going to be talking about the graphics. We're going to talk about the remastered, mainly Halo Reach inspired graphics that were carried over when they remade this game 15 years ago. Now, very important, we are not ranking the levels. If you want to see a ranking of all the levels, they're basically the same as the original, just with remastered graphics. I did a ranking of that a couple weeks ago. Instead, we are critiquing the graphics, the remastered designs of the levels. Now, this is going to be very subjective. This is a lot of my opinion on how these levels look or how they feel. But we're going to talk about how does the new level look versus the original? Does it respect the original? If there are changes, are they good? Are they bad? Did it change the atmosphere of the level? And also, just does it look good or do I think it's kind of bland? So now that I've justified my opinion, let's jump right into it. So starting at number 10, I'm going to go with the Maw. Now, this level is very similar to the Pillar of Autumn in terms of graphic design. Very gray with like touches of orange here and there, especially considering this level was already very orange in the original. I don't feel like the added design really does much for this level, and when there's all the burn damage and all the destruction kind of applied to it, I think this level just looks fine. I wouldn't say it's bad. I really wouldn't say any of the levels in this game look bad, but this one's just bland. And also, being that this is one of the retread levels, right, going back and going through the same level as the original, the Pillar of Autumn level, it doesn't look significantly different. It kind of looks the same, even with all the destruction and everything. I just think this level is very bland looking. It's just not very exciting. So I'm gonna put the Maw at number 10. And then right after that, it's not really hard to see the differences. It's Pillar of Autumn. These two levels look very, very similar. Of course, they're basically the same design. Now, comparing Pillar of Autumn to the original design of Pillar of Autumn in Halo CE, I do like the added detail. I like the color. I like that they even changed the Marine outfits to kind of be like a flight crew, a deck crew, as opposed to just general soldiers with their orange and blue jumpsuits. I do think the atmosphere is also improved, just being colorful with the hallways, and then with the Covenant stuff being improved, the little drop pod ships that they come in. Now, given we're at number 9, I don't think anything in this level looks so beautiful and so crazy that I prefer this over the original, but it is nice to look at. I do like the space outdoors, when in the opening cutscene and the way it's just kind of like that painting with the blue stars everywhere. It looks nice. Maybe not realistic, but it looks nice. Alright, now we have 343 Guilty Spark. For a lot of people, the worst design in this level, and that's not because it's ugly. I actually do really like the alien swamp and the color and how cool it looks, and it looks very alien, and it's nice. But this level does spit in the face of the atmosphere of the original. This level is just not very horror themed. The swamp isn't very scary. The fog isn't as intense. It's not very dark, right? It's much more lit up, which I don't, I'm very in the middle about the darkness, right? Darkness can be done well, but this doesn't feel like a scary level. In the original, this was the creepy level. This is where we introduced the flood. This is where what is going on? I can't figure it out. It's dark, I can't see, and there's alien zombies. And of course the biggest thing that everybody always talks about is the blood elevator, right? When you go down the first time, it's vibrant and colorful, and then when you go down when you do it in the remake, they're smears, but they're really dark. It doesn't look creepy. You honestly, if you blink, you miss it. Like it doesn't even look like it's a sign of doom to come. It's just kind of there. So 343 Guilty Spark. I actually like it. I think it looks nice, but man, they ruin the atmosphere of this level. It looks fine in that aspect, but it kind of takes away from the original design. All right, at number 7 we have the library. Now, the library is still a bad level. It's still one of the worst levels in this game because it's only flood. It's got repeating hallways. It's got all the problems that the original did. Of course, the new game is going to remake the library, so we're going to see a completely new design. So I'm really excited for that. But in this game, for Halo CE Anniversary, this level has a big plus, which is it's just not ugly anymore. It looks like a research facility. It looks like there's all kinds of stuff going on with the lights and the designs, and it's lit up a lot better. They did add the arrows as well, so you don't have to get lost anymore, which is really, really nice. Just the fact that it's not gray and dingy and dark, now it's colorful and it looks like it's got a purpose. It just makes it look a little more beautiful. Unfortunately, that beauty is repeated in a lot of the halls. There's a lot of like, oh, you got that big blue wall, there's like little flowing energy container things, and it's on repeat. It looks nice, but it is still repeating hallways, repeating designs. So I can't give it too much credit, but I do think this level is actually, playable now. Like, I would go back if I'm going to play the library. I'm probably going to play this version over the original almost every time. All right, then we're going to jump into number 6, Two Betrayals. Now, of course, this and Assault on the Control Room, of course, look very similar. So, as you can imagine, it's not going to be too much further up on this list for the other one. I think that this one is a little bit darker, and it doesn't do these new graphics as much justice. It just in my opinion. I think the snow effect in both versions is a little bit much, but being that it's night or evening or whatever it is, it's a little darker, it's a little gloomier. I don't think the Forerunner structures are over designed, but they are a lot of repeating hallways. They at least look unique. They give you the arrows. So for Assault and Control Room, the arrows go forward, and this one you're going to go backwards because you're going back through the level. So it's a little more convenient to not get lost, I guess. Not that I personally don't get lost anymore, of course, but if your first time playing, it's easy to like, hey, is this the room? I've been through like 5 of these. They still kind of look the same. They're not over designed in my opinion, but they still do kind of look the same. And I just think overall, this level looks good in the new graphics with the snow and everything, but the darker part, I just don't like it as much as Assault on the Control Room, which is of course our number 5. These were going to be back to back. They're the same level. The only thing is, I think Assault on the Control Room is a bit brighter, and even though again the snow effect is a little much, I think that the walls and the snow on the ground they look much more beautiful in this version versus Two Betrayals. Again, Forerunner structures, I don't think they're overly designed or anything. I do think they look nice and have the arrows that were added to help so you don't get lost. But I would also say for both these levels, I don't think there are any significant improvement over the original designs. I think I could take or leave either one. I really don't mind either look. So overall, I think these look good. I think it's a nice looking level. I don't think it's any significant improvement, but it's nice. All right, at number 4, I'm going to put Silent Cartographer. Now, this remains to be my favorite level of Halo. This has been my favorite level for years now. I love the island level, and it looks beautiful in this version. I like the little added design elements like the moss and the greenery on the rocks. It looks really good. But I don't feel like it really improves anything. It changes it. It adds more detail. It kind of adds a little bit of what you would imagine the island looked like back in 2001, now with 2011 graphics, which all looks fine. And the interior designs, they're, like I said, they're not overdone. There is a lot of going into these rooms and into the interiors. They're still very gray and still very, similar. And there's not a lot of design on the interior stuff, which doesn't really hurt it, but it doesn't really add to it like it did in the library. I would say this level is overall, yeah, it's a good looking level. It's pretty, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't improve it in any significant way. And I don't think it makes it. I wouldn't say it's more beautiful than some of the other levels in the top 3. All right, now in the top 3, at number 3, we have Keys. Now, Keys is good. I like Keys. I actually don't like care for it as a mission. It's not my favorite to play. So maybe there's a little bit of bias in here that I like Keys less than Truth and Reconciliation. But I do feel like they respected the original design in these levels, and that the Covenant ship looks so much better. I always thought the darker purple was a little dingy, it was a little ugly. It wasn't my favorite, but the exterior also looks nice. The interior looks nice. These levels they just look better. Now, Keys is a little bit darker than Truth and Reconciliation in this game. I like when these games feature darkness, and I think they do a good job, and you get the night vision on the sniper. But I do think the light really helped for Truth and Reconciliation to look a bit better. That said, the pools of green fluid, they look great. I much prefer it in the remake versus the original. Sorry, the remaster versus the original. I will say the other part that brings us down versus Truth and Reconciliation, the destroyed interiors, I think, are a little bland. They're okay. It's, hey, there was an explosion and there's pieces just on the thing. I don't think that adds to the level design for me. Or at least graphically, it doesn't add to the level design for me. So that's one of the only things that brings us down as well. Well, hey, if you were enjoying this video, I do rankings or top 10s every Wednesday. I have been for a little bit now. So if you want to see more coming up soon, or you want to go back, they have a playlist on the channel. But if you enjoy this, a like or subscribe would really, really be appreciated. It means a lot as I'm trying to get this channel going again. Now, with that said, at number 2, I'm actually going to put Halo. Now, this is one of the best levels in the game, and the original looks great. I really feel like they went above and beyond in Halo for the anniversary. Meaning, I really like the orange that they added. That it's got like a sunsetty atmosphere coming down on the cliffs, and if you look out in the sky, I still love being able to look up in the sky, and you can still see, as if it's nighttime, you can see all the stars, you can see everything still up there. But the textures look great. The ground and the rocks and the cliff sides, they all look great. And then I really like the Forerunner structures. I don't think they're over-designed in this game, and what I really like about it is that I think the Forerunner structures in this game look better on the exterior than they do the interior. Once you go inside, they look gray and bland and just kind of repetitive. There's not a lot of going interior. Yes, you have the big cave section, which I think looks great with the light bridge and everything, but also when you're coming up to the different squads and they're hanging out by Forerunner structures, like they're great. They look fantastic. This level just looks really, really good. I think they knew, hey, this is the big one, right? You walk out of the dropship, you get to see that halo ring going up into the skyline. And they did a great job. I honestly love playing both versions of this, but the anniversary graphics are fantastic. Alright, and the last opinion I have is that number 1 is Truth and Reconciliation. Now, for me, I think that this version, the anniversary graphics, is way better than the original. Maybe that's a hot take, but I don't like the original graphics. I hate the dark and dingy. I hate the exterior, and I think the interior is just bland. The exterior on this version is much better lit. Yeah, it kind of gets rid of the night vision, but I didn't really care for the night vision anyways. But it's much better lit. You can see where the enemies are. You can see where everything is. I think the skybox looks much better, and being able to look down off the cliff, it looks beautiful. I really think the exterior portion of this level is significantly improved because of the better sight lines with the anniversary graphics, in my opinion. Also, in my opinion, the indoor section looks way better. I think that's not overly designed. I know I said that a lot this video. I don't think it's overly designed. I think they've added a lot of details and textures that just make sense. It looks like an alien ship, and it looks like it has all kinds of energy and structures based on the plasma that they're using to keep everything moving, and I think it looks great. I love the designs with this level. So much so that I rarely will play the original version of this level versus the anniversary graphics. I will 9 times out of 10 take anniversary graphics. And so I do feel like it improved the level that much that I enjoy this, and I would put it at number 1 for the remastered graphics on this level. Now, of course, this is all subjective, all right? This is my opinion on graphics in a video game, one of the most subjective things in anything about video games. A lot of people don't think you need great graphics. A lot of people love great graphics. A lot of people are hardcore PC nerds. It's awesome. So let me know in the comments, what did you think? What would you rank your designs of these levels? Again, not ranking the levels and how they play or what's your favorite level. That's a different video, that's a different list, but in terms of the graphics and the redesigns, what do you think of this? Do you think I'm completely wrong and Truth and Reconciliation was ruined? Or, what? Let me know. Let down below. And again, I'm doing these every Wednesday, so if you want to come back and watch next week's, I will see you there.